Nah.
Dr. Pippin Carter is a tall, dignified, middle-aged gentleman with a carefully trimmed mustache.
But his name is pronounced Dr.
You eye this woman with a certain amount of jealousy. Her fashionably high cheekbones, impeccably styled hair, and sultry eyes make you feel mousy and naive by comparison. This snappily dressed man looks like an accountant, but there's an air of mystery about him as well.
There's an air of mystery about all accountants.
This short, blustery man reminds you vaguely of President Roosevelt.
To characterize her innocence by making her a terrible liar, says Mass Dragon, but she believed me, so I lied for no reason, and she believed me.
Snobbery. It's a semi-happy partygoer.
Semi-happy.
It's a semi-happy... It's the center of the lion deck. It's a semi-happy partygoer. It's a colossal bust of the pharaoh Ramses II, discovered at the Ramesseum, his mortuary temple on the Nile's west bank opposite present-day Luxor. The complete Ramses statue stood nearly 60 feet tall and weighed more than 1,000 tons. Presumably Ramses was not this large in life, although many people have stated that Ramses had a big head.
Wow.
Looking at a small portion of the big head really doesn't do justice to the immense size of the statue, but you can see that the bust was sculpted with extreme care, almost as if the sculptor's life depended on it, which it did.
Neat. That's what I was figuring, Speculad. That was the real size of his head, but his body was just normal, yeah. Who is Wolf? Oh, is Wolf Heimlich the guy that was out front checking our cards?
I find Mr. Heimlich to be most intimidating. He seems to enjoy looming over people.
Good. We had a good conversation.
Mr. Dorian is a very healthy-looking young man. His mother must have eaten well.
He's a very healthy-looking young man. I don't want to just ask about, random bullshit, but I'll ask about the people at the party anyway.
1,000 curses on that man. He defiled the tombs of my sacred ancestors for his own personal glory. He doesn't care a fig for what's right and what's wrong. His own evil deeds will catch up with him, though. Just wait and see.
The tomb of your ancestors? What? So he not only is an Egyptologist, but he also was, digging around Basingstoke? What is happening?
I have heard a great deal about Mr. Carrington, but I do not know him very well. We have only spoken once or twice, but he seems like a cultured, charming fellow.
Cool. Let me ask somebody about the burglary.
You must be very upset about the burglary.
Quite so. If I ever find out who stole my dagger of Amun-Ra, they won't live to regret it, I can assure you.
Do you have any idea who would do such a thing?
I have my suspicions, but I need more proof.
That was Mike Tyson talking for a moment, says Dan in chat.
Have the police learned anything?
Those incompetents. Hardly. They couldn't even find any clues around the dagger display.
Sounds like the burglar might have been a professional.
Perhaps. It's more likely the local constable couldn't find a clue if it jumped up and bit him on the bum.
Seems likely.
It is terrible to think someone could break into this museum and steal something so valuable. Monsieur Heimlich, he is all broken up about it, although he doesn't show it. How did Dr. Carrington react to the burglary? Dr. Carrington is a very dignified man. There is not much you can learn from his face. He seems to have taken the burglary very well, although he was angry with Wolf about the poor security.
Okay, so Wolf is like the security guard.
Might have
Makes sense.
stolen the dagger? There are many suspicious people here tonight who could have done it. The Countess, for example, or the little man Ziggy. But I have not the proof, you understand?
I thought you were the Countess. I guess not. Ziggy didn't do it. Ziggy is too incompetent.
Mr. Najia, Would you have any idea who might have stolen the dagger of Ammon-Ra?
No, but whoever did should be boiled alive. He should be fed to hungry crocodiles. His guts should be strung from the pyramids. He should... Oh, excuse me. I get a little passionate on the subject.
You're Ramses Najir?
Gia, I understand.
What? What? You're Ramses Najir? Okay.
What do you make of the theft of the dagger, Dr. Carrington?
It's simply beastly. What is the world coming to when crepuscular ruffians can invade a museum like Visigoths?
Do you have any idea who could have done such a thing?
Not at all. But if I did, I'd be tempted to teach the brute a lesson.
I'd like to see the actual exhibit. Oh, hello. Okay.
You see a short, elderly woman dressed flamboyantly, and you suspect expensively, and sporting a grotesque amount of makeup. In fact, when she speaks, you notice small flecks of base coat chipping off of her jowls and tumbling onto her furred collar.
This must be the Countess. Here's ye old gift shoppy. And just, other people, the things. We just poke her.
My dear, let's keep our hands to ourselves, shall we?
I know you're a secret lesbian.
Decorum is the order of the day.
Hi, I'm Laura Bow, and I'm covering this event for the Tribune Society news column.
Good evening, Miss Bow. I'm the Countess Lavinia Waldorf Carlton.
Yep.
Please be sure to spell my name right in your story.
Water closet. Do you mind if I stand, just basically on top of you, breathing down your neck? Is that all right? You have a problem with that?
What do you make of the theft of the dagger of Ammon-Ra, Countess?
Oh, it's horrid. Simply horrid. What sort of creature would make off with a priceless work of art, I wonder?
Do you have any ideas about who it might have been?
Oh, my, no! I try not to associate with dreadful people, dear girl.
We had a good conversation.
Ah, truly a man of great ambition and integrity,
We had a good conversation. God, I had to walk away from her every time because I'm standing inside of her.
Dr. Carrington, what about him? I know very little about the man.
Now,
Yep. Don't accidentally skip lines.
I bore rather easily, dear girl. Do let's move on to another subject,
Well, we'll never know what she just said about Dr. Carrington. Let's be more careful about not clicking through things.
Oh, he's a darling little man, just darling.
You are beyond useless. No wonder they don't trust women at the the newspaper. This is the standard of women in New York in 1926. Tell you what.
Oh, Mr. Heimlich is simply dreadful. I think his tiny taste of authority has gone to his little head. Don't you, Miss Bow?
I am simply racist. Let's see. You were supposed to meet somebody at the speakeasy.
Miss Bow, you must be sure to avoid such dens of iniquity. They can only ruin a young lady's reputation.
Okay, I know. 1926, not a time to openly be a lesbian, but I know your secret.
it's a fanatically happy partygoer.
Fanatically happy.
It's an alcove occupied by a giant urn. The giant urn is occupied by the cremated remains of Ignaz Leyendecker, who financed the construction of the museum.
Cool.
The urn is engraved with the name of Ignaz Leyendecker.
Well, let's go to the gift shop. Cool. Nobody protecting it, so we can just steal everything.
Don't touch it. You don't know where it's been.
I know where it's been. We're in the gift shop.
Upon close inspection, you see nothing new here.
I didn't see anything new about in the first place.
It's the cash register.
Let's go ahead and steal some money.
Laura, you'd never steal.
Wouldn't I, though? They wouldn't be gifts if you had to pay for them, would they? Points out Specklad. You're so right. It has to be a gift to me.
There's an inscription on each of the pots which reads, "These vessels were made by Welsh craftsmen. We make better castles than you do, and our flag has a griffin on it."
I thought the Welsh flag had a dragon on it.
These vessels appear to be replicas of 7th century Welsh condiment pots made for export to Ireland. These are replicas of early 12th century Celtic insect trapping pottery.
Seems like a very Britland-centric museum so far to have such Egyptology stuff in it. Let's have a chat with them.
That's not the sort of thing you want to examine too closely.
Really?
There's an inscription on each of the pots which reads, "These vessels were made by Welsh craftsmen." There's an inscription on each of the pots which reads, "These vessels were made by Welsh craftsmen."
The hell?
On each piece, you can see a tiny stamp that says, "Faux Egyptian artifacts, crafted with care by Hakim Rashad Hassan Ali Bozorg and Sons."
British Museum in New York, points out Van Women. Oh, perfect.
These appear to be copies of ancient Egyptian artifacts. They seem to be nicely crafted.
Let's go ahead and steal one of those.
Touch it. It's a painting of the pharaoh Uber Spamaton hunting geese in the springtime with his hounds and his son, Niet.
Uber Spamaton? Uber Spamaton?
That's not the sort of... What a beautiful painting of the Mask of Tutankhamun. You wish you had the money to buy it.
I have the non-money to steal it.
Upon close inspection, you see nothing new here. Don't touch it. It looks just like the dagger of Ammon-Ra. Isn't it beautiful? You can't touch the daggers on display in the locked case.
I'll bet that the real dagger was secreted among these, and it's just right there somewhere, but I can't get in. Hello. Made in Pittsburgh.
It shows Pittsburgh's high degree of craftsmanship. The dagger shows Pittsburgh. It looks just like the dagger of Ammon-Ra.
Well, we know what it looks like.
Beautiful.
Let's go ahead and steal it.
Touch the daggers on display in the locked case.
Let's go ahead and talk to it.
Silence alone is... That looks like a Peruvian-footed vessel. It has a picture of a bat painted on the inside of the bowl.
So there are fakey daggers. How interessante. The floor is a black hole. The ceiling is a black hole. Walk more slowly.
Back to the rotunda, Fräulein. The rest of the museum is off limits. And you are spooking their mastodons.
Huh. Security guard won't let me through, huh?
Being snobbish high society types, these partygoers just ignore you entirely. You're simply not a part of their social circle.
Not being granted with voice lines, these partygoers simply ignore you.
You see a rotund, ruddy-complexioned man in a fez. Despite his bulk, he moves with dignity and grace. It's a happy party. It's a happy party. It's an alcove occupied by a very impressive urn that contains the ashes of the deceased architect of the Leyendecker Museum, Arvin Slatherlord Loudermilk III. The extra-large size urn had to be specially built to accommodate Loudermilk's massive ego.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Don't touch it. You see the name, Arvin Slatherlord Loudermilk III, engraved on the urn in the alcove.
Neat.
It's a happy party. You see a tall Irish gentleman with red hair who acts like a cop.
Who acts like a cop. Oh, this is the cop we've already copped to.
A severe, conservative, middle-aged woman with an intelligent look in her eye.
You must be Dr. Ptah Sheptut Smith. Nice gold ankh you're wearing. This is quite a party, isn't it?
I find it distasteful to celebrate thievery in the name of science. The artifacts in this museum's Egyptian collection do not belong here. They belong in Egypt.
That's only your opinion.
It is the truth. And the thieves who rob Egypt of its ancient treasures will find death waiting for them. Amun-Ra will have his revenge.
I see. Well, nice weather we're having.
She has never been confronted with anyone non-white being upset by white people doing white people things. Do you mind if I have this conversation with you while standing on your feet and my face so close to yours that we're basically kissing? Is that okay?
Good evening, Dr. Miklos.
Oh, good evening, Miss Bo.
How are you, Detective O'Reilly?
Just fine, lassie. You're looking lovely this evening.
I lost my accent for a second there. Oh, dang it. No, my accent is gone now.
Have you heard anything about the burglary?
No?
Do you have any idea who would want to steal the dagger of Amun-Ra?
It has already been stolen once from Egypt.
I can see I won't get anywhere with you on this topic.
Neat.
Dr. Miklos, do you have any idea who would want to steal the dagger of Amun-Ra?
Very funny. Everybody, silly girl. It's a priceless artifact. Not only that, but it is said that the blade is an unknown alloy that can slice through bone like butter.
I suppose that was a silly question after all. Let me rephrase that. Do you know of anyone with
Did you steal it?
motive?
Well, Tut Smith and Ramesses Najir both wanted it very badly to return it to their homeland. But they are both so upset, it hardly seems possible that they could have done it. Then again, perhaps they are just fine actors.
Indeed. So far, they're the only ones with a motivation. But while this game is racist enough to give them very, very racist voices, it's not racist enough to say, oh, well, the foreigner had to be the one who did it.
If you ask me, missy, they're blowing the whole thing out of proportion. Begorra, you'd think that something important had been stolen.
You don't consider a priceless Egyptian artifact to be important?
Listen, girlie, if I chased down every petty theft that occurred within the nastier segments of the population, I'd be working 30 hours a day.
I would hardly call the Leyendecker Museum a nasty segment of the population, Mr. O'Reilly. And if you're referring to our Egyptian visitors, shame on you. And don't call me girly.
By me father's whiskers, you're a fiery one, Miss Laura. All right, I won't call you girly, little lassie.
Wow. Speculad asks if the two gentlemen on the left are doing a ballroom dance. Yes, but it's okay because they're leaving enough room for Jesus. So, it's all approved. Why'd you go that way? Wow. Thinking. Okay, how could I get into the back to be able to analyze the stuff back there? Presumably one of the, actual museum curators, if I could convince him.
Egyptology is all quite the fashion now, Miss Bow, but it's been a serious science for many years. I can recommend a number of fine books if you're interested.
We had a good conversation. I keep forgetting that things is only things in my inventory and not just any things that I know exist.
He's a real pip. A genuine go-getter, that fellow. He does a jolly good job of guarding the museum. Jolly good.
He's a real Philip Pirrip. Is Dr. Pippin a real Pip? So how can we get into...
Hey, that's me, young lady.
Oop.
Dr. Archibald Carrington III. At your service.
Didn't even mean to ask you about yourself. I was just trying to end that conversation, but whatever. I mean, I doubt that sneaking into the back is going to be as simple as, walking into the back.
Back to the rotunda, Fräulein. The rest of the museum is off limits. And you are spooking their mastodons.
Not going to be able to investigate more if I don't get back there. Let's go ahead and investigate
That
this
would be rude.
woman. You want to actually go or what? Okay, let's get some more information then. Tell me about my magnifying glass.
Since you're new here, what do you think of New York? Isn't it exciting?
It reminds me of Cairo, except that it's colder here and the people are obnoxious.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Ramses I was pharaoh during the 19th dynasty, from 1307 to 1306 BC.
Thanks.
But Ramses II made more of an impact on ancient Egypt. Ramses II was responsible for gargantuan construction projects which left his mark on the face of Egypt for thousands of years.
Thanks.
I admire his great works and hope to emulate his feats someday.
Actually, I was referring to Ramses Najia.
Najis, never heard of him.
Are you sure you don't know him?
No? I mean, yes. English is such a difficult language.
Isn't it just? I know that sometimes if you ask about the same person, they answer something different.
You already asked me that, you silly female.
Or they just get sexist, you know, whatever. Racism, sexism, throw it all in the same box. It's all good.
I believe he's investigating the burglary of the dagger of Amun-Ra. Perhaps, if he'd stopped drinking, he might have a chance at finding it.
Well, he's not going to do that. He is Irish after all. Hey, get some racism in there.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it. Yeah, that's probably the right way to refer to the good old Zigmeister.
I have only met her briefly, but she seems to have a sincere concern about my problems. A charming woman.
Interesting. The one white woman he doesn't, or the one white person he doesn't hate is the lesbian.
Do you know Steve Dorian? He works at the dock.
He's so handsome.
I don't associate with common dock workers, madam. Heimlich is that annoying guard who works here. His fanatical devotion to his occupation is admirable, but he seemed lacking in his mental capacities.
Oh, burn.
I had hoped that Dr. Carrington would listen to reason. I had made another appointment to speak with him about the return of the dagger of Amun-Ra to its rightful home, but this seems futile since it is no longer in the museum.
Another appointment? You spoke to Dr. Carrington once already?
Only by phone. He denied Egypt's claim to the dagger. It was hoped that a personal visit would convince him of our sincerity, but the situation has changed since then.
He lost his accent mid-sentence then. It's fine, it's fine.
You dare to mention his name to me? He is the blasphemous temple destroyer and tomb robber who stole the dagger of Amun-Ra from Egypt. He will know the full force of the curse of the pharaohs.
The curse of the pharaohs? What's that?
The defilers of the great Egyptian tombs and temples will all die as a result of their crimes. The gods themselves will...
Gods?
The great Amun-Ra will snuff out Peepin Carter's life as easily as I can crush a dung beetle under my shoe.
How will this happen?
Amun-Ra works in mysterious ways. You will have to wait and see.
Can't quite decide whether Amun-Ra was, is, you know, gonna personally come down or just some sort of mysterious, you know, God figure stuff. It's all fine. That accent ain't even Egyptian. It sounds faux Caroline Hindi, says Van Wittenich. I mean, it's just nothing. It just does not resemble any knowable accent. You might have to wait for 70 years, but Amun-Ra will get him eventually, says Pegladichet. Yeah, you'll have an aneurysm at the age of 107. Aha, Amun-Ra got you. Oh, do I not? What, because I don't know the name of that Egyptian fellow, I can't ask about him? You like going to speakeasies?
If you're referring to the local drinking establishments, they are quite illegal, and I don't condone their existence. I do drink on occasion, but only when the finest wines are available.
I am going to walk back outside and make sure that that doesn't end the scene or something. Now, am I allowed to sneak around the building and get into the exhibits to the back entrance? That accent ain't posh, it's just revolting, says Van Whitman in chat. I mean, I can't tell if they were actually trying to go for something British or not. It's weird, because it's like the stuff is very stereotypical posh British, but other than the occasional R dropping, his accent is, basically his accent is Boston, but with stuck on it. It's very bad. I was about to say it's very odd, but it's just very bad. Doesn't look like there's a lot I can do out here. It's interesting how the game traps you by removing the taxi sign, says Speculate in chat. It actually removed the taxi. Every time we went to the museum, the taxi waited for us, but not this time. We can't even walk into the street and get ourselves killed.
Don't stray.
So whatever it is we need to do, it is from inside of the museum. Okay. It's there because there is no street. You're floating in space. Suspect that. I suspect what I was suspecting before. He's the one who would be able to help me.
The Lion Decker is simply fantastic, Miss Bow. This is the opportunity of a lifetime.
We had a good conversation.
1926 to be a good year for you, Dr. Carrington?
Yes, I would, Miss Bow. Frightfully good.
And what is that, Doctor?
It's not often that one gets the opportunity to head up the most respected museum in America, Miss Bow.
So he's new here.
Now there's a lady who truly supports the arts. A real patron, that old girl.
Good.
I'm really very busy, Miss Bow. I don't have time to cover the same subject twice.
Okay.
The Lion Decker is a beautiful museum, Miss Bow, but I do not approve of the spoiling of my ancestors' tombs, much less the wanton display of their bodies and their personal effects.
You 100% convinced that you're Egyptian, 1,000%, you really certain? How can I convince the Countess that the lesbian is waiting for her at the speakeasy? How can I let her live her best life?
The Countess is quite a colorful lady. She seems to enjoy life to the fullest, does she not?
Oh, I know more about that than you do.
Ask me a little.
Why is that, Mr. Najee?
Well, she's just too enthusiastic for me, I suppose.
Good evening, Countess.
Good evening, Miss Bow. I think the Lion Decker is simply divine, don't you?
I think my accent is simply from every location on Earth, don't you? Tell me about... I already asked you at the speakeasy. Tell me about Low Fat's laundry.
Oh, heavens, my dear. My laundry is done by my maids.
We had a good conversation. You should like talking about yourself.
Why, that's me, silly child. Countess Lavinia Waldorf Carleton.
Good, perfect, good, perfect, good.
You're having such a good time, I thought I'd introduce myself. I'm Laura Bow of the New Orleans Bows.
The fanatically happy snobs.
Fanatically happy snobs.
They're having so much fun, you're sure they're putting on an act to impress their friends.
Wow. Tell the Countess about the Titles of Nobility Clause of the U.S. Constitution, says Speculate in chat. Just because the game is going to call her Countess doesn't mean that... wait.
Nice weave.
Damn. It doesn't mean that I actually respect that title.
Don't touch it. The rug is nice and clean. The dagger shows pit.
I have so few items.
You can't touch the daggers. It is better to know. The dagger shows the
Interesting. I can't even look at the surface.
the dagger. The dagger.
Okie dokie.
This case holds beautiful museum replicas. It's a painting of the pharaoh Uba Spammer. It's the cash register. They appear to be broken pots of some kind, probably authentic artifacts. Or maybe someone just dropped them.
That's more likely.
What a beautiful Art Deco rug. You almost hate to walk on it.
Well, then I'd better peel up the corner so I can walk around it.
Nice.
It's got to be something. I mean, I feel like maybe this room is just so you can see the replica dagger, because at some point in the game you'll have to identify the actual dagger. That seems pretty likely.
This is the eastern portion of This is the eastern portion of the
Okay.
Lion Museum Rotunda.
This potted plant does not exist. It is not real. You are imagining it. Dang it, if this were Quest for Glory, I could go into sneak mode and sneak in there.
Potted specimens of the amazing...
I haven't talked to Ziggy at all, because he just immediately said, like, give me money.
I don't think I've heard of him.
Good.
Can't help yous with that, Toots.
We're having a really useful conversation here. How about, what are you doing here?
I know everything's not what it looks to be, but then what is? Same with all these Mocky Mucks. Look, appearances can be deceiving. Me, do I look like the brother of a famous Broadway producer? No, but I am.
Huh.
You know, some days it's a rich smelting pot, but some days it's a big cesspool. But you gotta rise to the top like scum and keep your feet and your nose clean. That's how I does it anyway.
You don't sound like you keep your nose clean, to be perfectly honest. You sound kind of like me. Oh, self-burn. I have so little to work with.
The food is free of bugs, if that's what you were worried about.
That is what I was worried about.
Don't touch it. You don't know where it's been.
Don't touch the food?
Don't touch it.
Okay. This guy's been taking a deep drink for quite a while. Magnify everything, says Becklad. I'm sort of running out of things to... Can I magnify people? That seems rude.
That's not the sort of thing you want to examine too closely.
If you look closely at my neck, you will see the scars from the night my pet Wolverine tried to kill me. How I miss little Fluffy.
Wait, is she supposed to be Russian? Or is she supposed to be like maybe Polish or just generically Eastern European?
Ah, Wolf. He has some lovely scars, doesn't he? Just between us girls, I think he's dreamy.
Huh. Can you go seduce him while I sneak around the back room? Let me try talking to you about Wolf again, see if I can get you to go seduce him.
But we have already discussed that, my dear. Let's move on to a fresh topic.
Do you know her name, Aspect Lad? I think she introduced herself with her name, but it is not in my my list, so...
A severe, conservative, middle-aged woman with an intelligent look in her eye.
Good evening, Dr. Miklos.
Oh, good evening, Miss Bo.
Maybe Miklos? Is she Czech? I mean, there's nothing recognizable in her accent, that's for sure. That's Mrs. a severely conservative middle-aged woman to you, Specklad.
I don't have time for idle chat, lad.
You already asked.
God, am I just gonna have to talk to everyone about everything? There's gotta be something more rational that I can be doing here. Miklos sounds Hungarian, says Nettie in chat. Yeah, okay. So, the Eastern European or Balkans, judging by the fact that nothing is identifiable in her name or accent. She's from somewhere other than New York. She could be Kazakh for all that her accent reveals anything.
It's a semi-happy party go. The food and champagne look good, but you're trying to stay on a diet, so you make the wise decision to leave them alone.
There's the actual reason. It's gotta, like, I've gotta talk to these idiots. One of these idiots has gotta be able to do something.
I am hoping you like what you're seeing, Miss Bo. You see a bald, greasy, unpleasant little man with over-large pores and a sour expression.
Well, that sounds like exactly what's gonna happen to me, Chris. Welcome. Me getting stuck on a single screen? Impossible.
That, you silly female.
You silly female.
Do not scrutinize me so severely, Miss Bo. You are making me nervous.
That's more than a little rude, Miss Bo.
It's a lot rude. I think you had to ask the right person about the right thing, and probably in some order, and I just haven't quite been able to guess who's important. I figured I need to get Wolf out of the way to go into the back room, but I couldn't send what's-her-face, Miklos, over to seduce him, so I don't know. You like going down to the docks?
Oh, dear. The docks are very rough places, Miss Bo. I stay away from them. I would suggest that you do the same. Attractive young ladies like yourself are the favorite prey of the jackals who prowl there at night.
I'm not into rough trade. It's a distinct possibility of pixel hunting too, says Nettie in chat. It doesn't really feel like there's... so the gift shop feels like there's some... prospect of pixel hunting, but out here it feels more like just conversation.
We have already discussed that. To be perfectly honest, I do not care for Mr. O'Reilly. I do not think he sees the beauty in ancient Egypt. He is somewhat blunt in his approach to others as well. I suppose that is just part of his job, however.
Probably.
Crodfallers? No, thank you. I try to restrict my intake of sugar. It has a bad effect on me.
Well, Chris, it's going to be even worse than you think, because I'm only going to be streaming for another 25 minutes, and then it'll be a week before I stream again, at which point I will have forgotten everything, so it'll be just a real mess.
I'm afraid I do not know the gentleman. I lead a rather solitary life. John Bo is your father? I have never had the pleasure of meeting him. I have never been to New Orleans, you see. That much humidity does not agree with me.
Specla, there's nothing for me to rotate with right now. I'm done with Japanese drug trip game, the name of which escapes me, Sleeping Cocoon. I'm done with Sleeping Cocoon for the moment.
I do not know Ziggy very well, but he makes me uneasy. His eyes remind me of a jackal's. I met him briefly at the party, then avoided him the rest of the time.
He's right here. Great job avoiding it. He's right here. Great job avoiding him.
We have already discussed...
Tell me about yourself.
Why, I am Ramses Najir, Miss Bo. I am an accountant and a proud father of 2.5.
Is that a joke about, like, he's an accountant and therefore nuclear family nonsense?
We have all...
Okay, I'm done talking to this idiot. There's gotta be something in the gift shoppy. Why would the gift shoppy be here if there's not a pixel to hunt for? Yep, this is the strategy.
Don't touch. Don't touch it.
That time she had to walk over to not touch it. I did, Speclad. I did. I spent so much time trying to lift the corners of the carpet.
Don't touch it. Don't touch. You can't touch the daggers on display. Don't touch. Don't touch. Don't touch it. Don't touch. Don't touch. Don't touch. Lord. Upon close inspection.
And I have magnifying glass everything in here.
Nice and clean. Nice weave. Don't touch it. You don't touch.
Don't touch anything. Don't touch it. I'm just looking for anything in this room that seems particularly suggestive other than the daggers. And I really suspect that the only reason for this room,
the dagger,
at least at this phase, is that you can probably you can probably like use the information of this shape later in the game. Like you see it, and then you'll see the dagger without Made in Pittsburgh on it. Don't touch this. Yes, it is exactly that song that she was singing, Specklad. Don't touch it. Do. You don't know where it's been. Let me examine this doorway.
That's not the sort of thing you want to examine too closely.
Not a doorway.
Looking at a small portion of the...
Yeah, I've already seen this. I feel like Miklos, because I have no explanation for her presence, is the person I'm supposed to be talking to.
Yes, I am aware that many people enjoy going to such places. I personally do not. I find them too noisy, and the people are too lively. I would like to get a good close look at some of those hedonist livers, however. That bootleg alcohol is quite strong.
Is she that kind of doctor?
You ask yourself.
Oh my god.
You ask.
Is there any pixel? Okay, there's like a couple pixels in there I can use to talk to her even though I'm standing on top of her.
How do you like living in New York, Dr. Miklos?
Well, I had always heard it was a city rife with crime and danger and murder. So disappointed.
Maybe she's supposed to be like Transylvanian and hence Hungarian. Or Romanian or any of the sort of East Balkan nations that could reasonably lay claim. Do you like hanging out on the docks?
I love to walk along the docks on a moonlit night and feed carrion to the rats.
You're an interesting person. Isn't Transylvania in Romania? Asked Dan in chat. I think Transylvania, I mean, at this exact moment, it's in Romania, but this game is set between World Wars I and II. Which I guess, yeah. So you can see where this is what's getting to me is I have no idea in what state the Balkans were when this game is set in 1926. So, over there somewhere.
Mr. Najir is a very quiet one, isn't he? And so polite. Sometimes I wonder about him, though. I see a certain light in his eyes, like Daisy's, when she's about to kill a spider. I think I like Mr. Najir.
I think I like you.
An odd little fellow, that one. He reminds me of one of the specimens in my dried rat collection.
What are you?
Mr. Agostini? I have only met him once or twice at social affairs. He seems to be very competent, that one. Dr. Carter is an odd one, if you ask me. He is so very interested in gaining personal glory.
Personal.
He doesn't seem to fully understand the beauty of what he has discovered. Why, the Amun-Ra artifacts are a symphony, a tribute to the wonders of death. Ah.
Huh. I like you more and more.
Dr. Carrington is a quiet one. I don't see him very often. I'm certain, however, that he must have a poetic soul.
What makes you say that, Dr. Miklos?
I have seen him walking amongst the dead, in the Egyptian exhibit late at night. I cannot blame him. It's better than moonlight on headstones. Ah.
Okay, yeah, she's a vampire.
Ah, yes. Detective O'Reilly. I can't say that I'm overly fond of that one.
He's right here.
The respect for the wonderful things in the museum, and he is too firmly rooted in this life.
He's right here.
I believe that he likes the dead at all. Can you imagine?
What are you? Like, what are you?
It is better to know. You ask yourself.
No.
I am sorry, but I don't know what a crodfaller is. Ah, is it some sort of pastry? Oh yes, he runs the laundry down the way. He always manages to keep the pleating in my silk shrouds just right.
Is she, what's the, a doctor that specifically does, autopsies? She's a deathologist.
No, I'm afraid I don't know Detective John Bow. He is your father? That's nice. I admire the police. They get to spend so much time with the sick and the dead.
Good God.
And in New Orleans, yet with those beautiful cemeteries.
What are you? I already talked to you about Ziggy. Don't think I talked to you about Steve Dorian.
Ah, the young stevedore, Steve Dorian? He is a charming young fellow. I imagine he has some wonderful scars from working on the docks.
He actually is a stevedore, because stevedore means dock worker, but I don't even know why I know that.
I don't know if I trust that one. She screamed when she saw my beautiful dried rat exhibit and cried out like a baby when my ferret Daisy bit her ankle. Foolish woman.
Weasel spotted. There's a weasel in this game, at least in reference.
But we have already discussed that, my...
Oh.
You ask.
Yes, we already talked about him. You won't go seduce him because you're a jerk.
The Lion Decker is my home now. I never want to leave it. Its musty hallways and creeping shadows are in my very blood. Can you imagine spending an entire lifetime drifting through the land of the dead? That opportunity is mine, and I treasure it.
Do you run the death exhibit in the museum? What are you?
The Tribune is an excellent paper. You are most fortunate to be employed there, Miss Bow.
Oh, why, thank you, Dr. Miklos.
Stick with the Tribune, my dear, and you will
Taffermeister.
Their article on dysentery in the Herdanos of Spain was simply marvelous.
Ah, you are quite a person. Tell you what. No. Places.
Oh, I find the police fascinating.
I'm literally just gonna ask everything.
Trying to stop crime and murder, and yet they shoot people themselves. Interesting, isn't it?
Yes.
I'm sure I don't have an answer for that, Miss Bow.
Wow, we finally found something she won't talk about. Even though she did talk about low fat, she wouldn't talk about his laundry.
But we have already discussed...
Oh yeah. I always start with, hey, do you like to hang out at the docks? And I did talk to you about New York, and I think I talked to you about speakeasies too. Yeah. Here's my notebook.
Ah, you are wise to carry a notebook, my dear. One never knows when one may see or hear something that will change one's life forever.
Whatever her accent is, it is just speak with rolling your R's constantly.
You are wise to carry a magnifier, my dear. You miss so many of the good things if you don't look close enough. Imagine never seeing pores or lice or fungus spores.
What a life that would be. Imagine if you never saw any of that.
So, Dr. Miklos, has this been a good year for you?
I would say yes. Very good. I came here from Greece just a short time ago.
Greece?
Look at me now. Curator of the largest private museum in New York.
I'm happy to hear that, Dr. Miklos. Tell me, have you noticed anything unusual at the museum lately?
The whole museum is unusual, my dear. We are surrounded by dead things. Just walk around for a while and breathe in its wonderful atmosphere.
She stopped moving her lips to talk.
Smells of death.
I just may do that. Have you ever noticed any dead things that, well, don't belong?
My dear, every dead thing belongs. Dead things are our friends.
Okay, didn't expect her to be Greek. That's fine. For some reason, like, as I'm thinking about Greek, I cannot convince myself one way or the other about whether it has a rolled R. I don't think Greek has it has a tapped R, definitely. But this, like, rolling R, the R's, that doesn't seem Greek to me. I already talked to you about the burglary, surely.
But we have our...
Yeah.
You're an expert in Egyptology, aren't you, Dr. Miklos?
No.
Well, yes, I suppose I am. I have been fascinated with the ancient Egyptians since I was a tiny girl. They loved death like you love baseball.
If only I still had that baseball to show you. Worked with people in Greece. I don't recall them rolling their R, says Dan in chat. I definitely have known Greek people, but all of them that I've known have spoken English too fluently for me to be able to sort of guess through. I don't know. You know what? Google. Does Greek have a rolled R? I'm actually going to search on Google because I think DuckDuckGo is going to lead me astray here. Rolled R's. Pronounces a trill. Well, a lot of things are like, hey, how do I pronounce the trilled R in Greek? So I guess... Yeah, okay. Okay, it seems like there's a roll. Well, anyway, now that we've talked about Greek a lot, I've still made no progress and have truly no idea what to do here. I really feel like what this is going to involve is getting Wolf out of the way. I need to murder Wolf. Or, just get him out of the way. Not necessarily murder.
These plans...
Back to the rotunda.
But yeah, she Wolf is not gonna let me in there. Rub the pharaoh bust to summon a genie, says Nettie in chat. I haven't touched it.
You'd like to reach out and touch the Ramses bust, but decide it would be improper to touch the exhibit.
Game gives you so little agency. I mean, my inclination, if this weren't a stream, like if I'm just figuring this out on my own, is just to talk to everyone about everything, because I can't really think of what pixel peeping I could be missing, and it really would have to be in here. Tip the bust over, says Specklad. If I tip the bust over and it kills the group standing in front of the bust, and one of them was the thief, then the case is solved. So there you go, problem solved.
You'd like to reach out and touch the Ramses bust.
That's not what I was clicking on.
There I was, standing on the hillside above the excavation in the Valley of the Kings, with the faithful Mahmud describing the dance of the seven veils to me in great detail, when a shout arose up from the workers below us. Sensing an important discovery at hand, since I have a sixth sense about these things, I scurried downhill to see that a step had been uncovered in the sand. It turned out to be the entrance to the temple of Amun-Ra. I took the trowel from the Bas-Kefir and cleared the sand away from the rest of the steps myself, revealing the entrance to the temple. The seal...
That's us on the left, Dan.
...intact on the door seal, indicating that the temple had not been disturbed. I knew that fate had brought me...
Yes, this woman is looking at no one. She's looking at us.
Tireless after my exertion in clearing the staircase, I used a sledgehammer to break through the sealed doorway. within
Destroying a priceless artifact.
accomplishment of my considerable career. Hidden within the darkness, untouched for thousands of years in the isolated temple, lay the magnificent dagger of Amun-Ra, the greatest discovery of modern archaeology.
Good show.
Magnifique. Very impressive, Dr. Carter.
So, that's when you heisted it, right?
No, I didn't heist it, you annoying little man. I took it out of the temple and showed it to the workers, who immediately fell upon their faces, all 350 of them, to show respect for my accomplishment.
That's hard to believe, Dr. Carter. Egyptian workers have proudly worked the archaeological digs for many years. I would not think they'd exaggerate their respect for you to such an extent.
But then you weren't there, were you, Mr. Nagier?
Well, no, that's true.
And when was the last time you were in Egypt, Mr. Nagier? You seem to have lost some of your accent.
Well, it has been several years.
I thought as much.
Your discovery really was quite a remarkable achievement, Dr. Carter.
Was remarkable, Dr. Carrington? You mean it is a remarkable achievement. There has never been anything like it before.
No one has ever discovered anything.
Noted, Doctor.
If you will all be excusing me, I see a man I need to speak to.
You're looking at a door.
Miss Delacroix? Certainly.
Okay, let me explain to the best of my ability what just happened there. I was so curious about the fact that she didn't seem to be able to interact with any of the food that I was gonna try to interact with drinks, and I know she doesn't drink alcohol, so I just clicked on the carafe of water just to see if she would do something, and apparently that was how to progress the scene, because nothing makes any sense. What a perfect place to end this stream. It would be more perfect if I could find a way to die, but I can't. Walking outside right now does not present me with an opportunity to get hit by a car, so I can't think of any way to die right now. Very un-Sierra, but yes, I guess we'll continue with Amun-Ra. Next week, I have no idea whether I'm still trapped in this room for like days, or if I'm gonna be able to make progress, but we'll find out next week. Thanks for watching, y'all.